Hey everybody, some folks were asking me how I make my graph and track my stats without using Poker Tracker. So if you're on a site that doesn't allow HUDs, or you just don't have a HUD but you want to know what your stats are like so you know if you suck or not, here's how I do it. Basically, this is an Excel spreadsheet. And here's all my things that I use. I use date, start time, finish. I like to know what times I play. This is actually supposed to be PM. Anyway, time played, buy-in. So if you're playing, this is for NL5. You can see here, stake, 5 cents. So for your buy-in, I played 2 tables that day. I added on to a total of $12.07. So I added $2.07. And on those 2 tables, I cashed out for $17.75. for a profit of $5.68. Now, a lot of this stuff here is stuff you have to fill in yourself. If you really don't care what time you start and finish, then you don't really need all that. But if you want to know your big blinds per hour, then you want to know how many hours you played. And I'm sure there's a formula to make this automatic, but I just plug it in. I just plug the number in. I played for an hour and a half that day. So I plug this number in. This you just plug in. And then what you can do here, so you don't have to type this in every time, is just grab and pull down, and it autofills for you. Okay. Again, I just plug that in, that cash out number in, and then for here, profit loss is very simply your cash out minus your buy-in. So it will automatically fill all that in for you if you put this formula in there. So you just put the equal sign to make a formula, and then G2, which is the cell, see G2, and then E2. So same thing. You don't have to type it into each and every single box here. You just grab and pull down, and it'll autofill that formula for you in here. Okay. Then I just go and I use hands. I type in how many hands I played during that session. And here's where it gets a little tricky. Okay, again, this is just something you have to go into your, whoever you're playing at, whatever site you're playing on, you just go to your hand history and find out how many hands you've played. So here's where it gets a little tricky. Your big blinds per 100, there's the formula up there. The formula is going to be your profit and loss, so that's H2, divided by F2, which is basically the blinds, divided by, and this must be in parentheses, because it must happen first, according to, the old math stuff. Sorry about the shakiness. My hand's not very steady here. But, so it would be how many hands you played divided by 100. And that gives you your big blind per 100. Same thing here. You can autofill it down like this, so you don't have to type in that formula every single time. Same thing for your big blinds per hour. I'm going to switch hands here for a little bit. You can see at the top there, up here, you got H2. So that's your profit and loss divided by your stake again. Again, that's in parentheses. And then divided by D2, which is how much time you played. And it'll tell you that I had a really, really good hour and a half session, right? 57 per 100 and 75.73. Now, you can autofill here, and it'll automatically put that formula in there for you. Now, what if you want to know, all right, what if you want to know what your total is? Okay, so you want to know what your totals are. What I would do here, there's an option under View, first of all, to freeze the top of this, because as you fill in more stuff, you see how the top line stays there? As you fill in more stuff, you can scroll to the bottom. So how do you do that? You click on the pane that you want, or you click on the row that you want. So you click on the number 1, you go to View, and it's right here, freeze panes. And they'll give you the option, freeze top row, freeze first column. You want to freeze the top row. Okay, so now on the bottom, you want to know, let's see, what might you want to know? Total time played. Okay, so click here, go back up, go to home, and click on auto sum. And it should highlight the whole column all the way up. If not, you can do it yourself, and then it'll put your total down there. Okay. Another thing you might want to know is your total profit or loss. Again, it's the same thing for this one. Auto sum. Hit enter. It'll drop my 568 down. Okay. How many hands? Same thing. Auto sum. Okay, there's my 199 hands. Now, big blinds per 100. Now, I didn't do that for this. Instead, what I did was I took my formula for big blinds per 100, and I took I actually dragged all this all the way down. So you got to do that formula again. So those two formulas that I used earlier for big blinds per 100 and big blinds per hour, you're going to plug those same formulas in here, but you're going to use these bottom numbers because you got your totals. So that's why you want, your stake, how much time you played, your profit and your loss, and how many hands you played. So then you can plug those same formulas back in from up top, obviously using these numbers instead. So, and that's all you got to do. And then I'll make a second video, and then I'll show you how to actually make it into a graph.